This book is called Dear Moon. It's written by Stephen Wunderli and illustrated by Maria Luisa de Gravio. And before I read this, I do just want to give a warning. This is a very sad story. I definitely found myself shedding a few tears as I read it. And that's not what I was originally expecting when I got this book. So just a heads up. Dear Moon. Dear Moon, we built a rocket. We are coming for you. From Max and Eli. It just keeps moving, Max says, and then another day comes. We could try and stop it, Eli suggests. Then I won't have to leave so soon. We want to have a word with you, Max shouts at the moon. Face to face, man to man in the moon. We need you to stay where you are. You think we can make him stay put? Eli asks. Max glares at the moon. I have a plan. Okay, so why do they want the moon to stay where it is? Max said at the beginning, it just keeps moving, and then another day comes. But if they can hold the moon right where it is, they think another day won't come. Time won't keep passing. And Eli says, we could try and stop it. Then I won't have to leave so soon. So they want the moon to stop moving so time stops passing so Eli doesn't have to leave. They're building a rocket. And if I look at Eli, so here's Max and here's Eli. Eli's in a wheelchair, and if I look really closely at his eyes, I can see he's sick. This is going to work, Max shouts. Max and Eli launch into the night beyond the trees and the stars to lasso the moon. Almost. We tried, Eli says. Thanks anyway. I guess there's no stopping the moon or the next day from coming. Or me going to the hospital. We're not giving up, Max says. I have another plan. These bicycle tubes should do the trick. Blast off. Got you now, Eli yells. Nobody messes with my best friend, Max. Oh no. Now you've done it, Moon. Stop, shouts Max. Thanks for trying, Eli says, but I don't think the moon ever stops. I won't give up, Max says, not even till the end of the very end of the world. I wish you could go with me to the hospital, whispers Eli. Me too, Max says. Are you afraid? A little, says Eli. You want me to be afraid for you so you don't have to, asks Max. Okay, says Eli. Thanks. The early morning moon is watching. Somehow it seems closer to Max and Eli than the hospital. Eli looks at it one last time. See you soon, Moon. Max marches home. He has a new plan. If the moon won't stop, maybe I can make it move faster, thinks Max. Better run, Moon. I will scare you. Go, Moon, go, and don't come back without Eli. Roar! Roar! Ah! It's no use. The moon moves along, same as always. Same, same, same. One night, the moon is so close, Max can almost touch it. Okay, says Max, no more scaring. Let's be friends. Can you see Eli from up there? I know you can. Is he okay? Does he hurt? Does he miss me? Will you make sure he comes home? The moon glows a little more. Sometimes it's hard to understand the moon. So Eli has gone to the hospital now, and Max is waiting for him to come home. So instead of stopping the moon, he wanted the moon to go faster, so time would go faster and Eli would come home sooner. Welcome back, Eli. The nights go by. The day arrives. Eli rolls out with a new haircut. So here's Eli. He's lost his hair. So he shaved all of his hair off. Cool, says Max. Your head looks like the moon. My eyebrows are gone too, and my new wheelchair has a motor. Sputters Eli as he spins in circles. I had a word with the moon, says Max. I told him to make sure you are okay. Eli smiles. I think I'll be seeing him in person soon. I'm going with you, Max says. We'll build a new rocket with super blasters. Now, I need a timeout here for a second. Max and Eli are best friends, and we saw at the beginning Eli is really sick and he was going to have to go to the hospital. Why do you usually go to the hospital? To get treatment, to get better. And so they're hoping that that made him better, but he comes back. He is now missing his hair, he's missing his eyebrows, and he says, I think I'll be seeing the moon in person soon. What do you think that means? I'll be seeing the moon in person. It means Eli doesn't think he's going to live much longer. Eli doesn't look like he's feeling too well. Max and Eli make the best rocket ever. It takes a long time. 3, 2, 1. Up, up, up. Bump. The rocket nudges the sleepy moon. Eli walks onto the moon and waves goodbye. The moon glows brighter. So Eli's on the moon. Where is Max? In the rocket. The rocket floats back down to Earth, landing safely with Max on board. Max puts on his favorite mask and cries the sadness out. It takes some time. Then he shoots a note to the moon. Dear moon, I'll be watching you. I can't get through without crying. Okay, so does Eli survive? No, Eli's very sick, and despite the doctor's best attempts to help him feel better, he doesn't survive. And Max, his best friend who's been there with him through it all, is left behind by himself to grieve the loss of his best friend. What I love about this story is that Max continues his relationship with Eli. It doesn't end just because Eli has passed away. And I like that he envisions Eli on the moon, and the moon is always going to be out. So even though time passes, Max will always have his memories of Eli, and Eli will always be in Max's heart. This is obviously a fantastic choice for anyone who's going through any sort of loss and grief of losing a loved one. It also pairs really nicely with the book The Perfect Shelter. So while this isn't one that I would reach for to read frequently, simply because no matter how many times I read it, it still makes me really sad. And I don't know. I prefer to read happy stories, I feel like it's an incredibly important book to have because life isn't always happy. There are situations that we face where books can help us get through. Dear Moon.